Good morning everybody, thanks for joining me again. Well, I've come down to the River Dart again. It's been 2 or 3 weeks since I've been here and I was hoping to catch some autumn colours, but as you can see the storms we've had has taken its toll on the trees, but there's still some colour left, so we'll have a look what we can find. So I also thought it'd be a good day to try this bergen out. A few months ago I made a video about trying different camera bags, and today seemed like a good day. Weather's been changeable, I've had to bring lots of wet weather gear and I've been able to bring nearly all my lenses with me because I know today it's going to be a mixture of wildlife and some lovely landscape shots. So let's see how we get on. I saw this tree on the other side of the river here and I couldn't help but stop. Got some lovely colours, and obviously with the water flying past in front I thought it must make a shot. So I put a circular polariser on and I'm trying to get a 1/4 second shutter speed, and let's see what that looks like. Well, I have found another shot that I really like. Just looking down the river here, you can see that tree just sparkling with the light behind it and all the raindrops dripping off it. Fantastic image. Just trying to compose the rocks in front that have got some light and then get the right exposure so that tree is nice and crisp. I'm not sure about the water, I think that's going to have to be sharp as well. Doesn't really matter about the water. The rocks and the tree really have to be sharp just to show off that sparkling light. So what am I trying? Let's have a look. Well, unfortunately the light's just gone in. I was just trying a different aperture. I was trying to get everything in focus without having to focus stack. So I've just put the aperture up to f11. I was starting to focus in on the different elements, the rocks in the foreground and the tree. And of course, while I'm messing around, the sun's gone in. Never mind, I'm going to stand here for a bit longer and see if the sun manages to come back out again. Well, while I'm waiting for the sun to come out, I thought I might as well get the settings right. So I've not changed the ISO, but I've put the shutter speed to 1/50th of a second. I'm at f11. It's starting to rain a little heavy now. I'm going to have to get a cover out for the camera. Let's do that first. Well, I took quite a lot of photographs with this tree, and you'll all already have seen whether I got a good image or not. Trying different things, trying to get the tree to basically sparkle. So hopefully you've just seen that. Anyway, time to move on. Not even got to the spot that I wanted to go to today. So let's push on. So I've made it to the piece of woodland that I had in mind, and I'm now scouting around just looking for those trees that have got some golden leaves still clinging to them. I've come across this twisted oak tree, and with a circular polariser I'm trying to separate it from the background. However, with the twisted branches and those golden leaves backlit with the sun, it's doing a good job all on its own. Well, there's the tree. I'm recording this in the back of camera. It's not quite the same composition. I've got a little bit more width on the actual photograph. But you can see how those leaves running along those lovely branches. All I've got to do is wait for the right light, try and separate the background using the polariser. So, f11 and ISO 100. And that gives me 1/6 of a second. Let's give that a go. Well, let's move on, see what else we can find. Sun's getting a little bit higher now, so getting a little bit more difficult to get the exposure right. But then as I'm moving along through the forest, there's still areas where the hillside opposite is shading. So there's still opportunities. And some great trees. So I've come along a bit where the riverbank's a bit steeper here. But what that's allowed me to do is get up high and look down through the trees. So I'm able to exclude some of that sky that I was getting further back. So there's no light on this tree just here, but let me show you what I do like about it. So as I said, there's no light on this tree, but there's some lovely orange gold leaves, and the background with the river running past has almost got a blue look about it, and the contrast of those two colours looks really nice. So what I'm probably going to do is do a square crop, remove the greenery from down here, remove the sky from up here. That just leaves me the leaves, the structure of the branches. It's really nice. And then as you can see, there's this blue colour in the water behind. Again, I'm just using the polariser to accentuate the blue colour in the background. Now focus wise, let's focus in on the leaves. I'm at 1/80th of a second, f5.6, ISO 320. Let's try that. So that last shot was at 1/80th of a second, but the leaves are moving quite a lot, so I'm going to just speed it up to 100th of a second. I'm also going to close the aperture down a little bit to f8, give me a little bit more depth of field, so I've got a bit more in focus. But that has meant that I've had to put the ISO up to 500. However, should be able to take that shot without there being too much noise caused by the higher ISO. Let's give it a go. Well, walking back, I really thought I'd like to take a panoramic shot, but it's really difficult to find a good subject. I think I've found something, but at the moment it's very backlit, so I'm waiting for the changing light and just taking different shots as the sun comes in and out. Okay, I think I'll make my way slowly back along the track. There were a few images along the river which I think might work, so we'll have a look at those, and when we get to the part where the river opens up a bit more, I'll put the long lens on just in case I see some wildlife. Okay, let's see what else we can find. As you can see this time of year, with the rivers high, some of the paths become a little tight. I passed these small islands on the way down to the woodland, and with the water running in front, the nice trees and some colour on there, I thought they'd make a good shot. But when I walked down, there was sunlight just lighting up this side of the trees, and now it's in shadow, so it doesn't look quite as good. So I'll put the long lens on, walk back and see if I can see any wildlife on the way. If not, it's still been a fabulous morning, and who knows what I'm going to find. Well, I mentioned earlier in the video that I was trying out this Bergen really for the first time properly. So I had it loaded up with 2 inserts, and I was carrying 4 lenses including the 200 to 600mm. But on a day like today it worked really well. Yes, it wasn't as easy getting the lenses out when I needed to change them. I was changing backwards and forwards between the 600 and the 50mm quite a bit. But weather-wise it was ideal. Has a really good rain cover that covers the tripod as well. Also, it was really comfortable, and that allowed me to really load it up with quite a bit of weight. And also I was able to stow all the warm gear when I started to get a bit warm. Well, I've seen a few dippers along the river. There's one just over there at the moment. Just going to see if I can get closer without scaring him down the river. Not many people about, so when they do see someone, they're off. And although I've got my autumn colours on, I'd probably stand out like a sore thumb. Well, unfortunately not the greatest of photographs. I really do need to learn that I need to concentrate on either one thing or the other. Either wildlife or the woodlands. But never mind. It was a nice record shot, just to add to the collection. As you can see, I'm almost back to the start of the walk, so I think I'm going to call it a day. Thank you for joining me, and hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost anything. And hopefully I'll see you all again next week. Bye for now. Cheerio.